it's just me tonight, guys. These episodes, when it's just me and there's no guest, they're super special to me because they're so much more intimate. I love having my guests on because it's how I meet new people. It's how I bring more mass into the room. But when I'm just talking to you guys one-on-one, it just feels extra, extra special. So thank y'all for coming in. What's up, KD, Hermosa? Thank you for coming in. Thank you so much for the heart me. If you're coming in, collect that daily heart me. There's a live goal. I never talk about that enough, but hey, come on in. Thank you for coming in. Thank you for coming in. So also, I feel like when I come in here, I always just go right to the topic, but I don't talk to you guys enough. Where y'all tuning in from? Like, can y'all drop that in the chat? Like, tell me where y'all watching from. I'm in Texas, if you didn't know. I'm in Houston. But where y'all watching from? Florida? Cool. I was just in Florida. My family and I went there for Christmas, and it was a good time. Oh, wow. Demon Hunter's wife. ATL, come on, welcome. I lived in ATL for a very long time. Did you say the desert in West Africa? Listen, that's what's up. That's what's up. I'm coming to see you. I'm coming to visit. Philly, what's up, Philly? Thank you for joining. Where's everybody else from? Is anybody in Houston? I feel like there's not a lot of people, except my moderator, who I don't think she's here yet. Thank you for coming in, Diamond. So tonight we're gonna get so real about a very, what should I call the topic? Anyway, we're talking about moving on. We're talking about how do you know when it's time. We're talking about, things that you should be moving on from, but you're still there. How do you know when it's time to get on up out of there? And what does moving on mean to you, right? Especially because right now we're in January, the year is still new and fresh, and everybody is like, oh, new year, new me. You're welcome to visit. Thank you. I'm going to take you up on that. Thank you. I haven't been to Africa yet. Come on in. Hi, Maya. And like, when we talk about moving on, right, it's not always about anger. It's not always about, fuck you. It's about, sometimes it's about, I really love you. I really care about you. I love this, but it's not working for me anymore. It's not working for us. And as much as I love you, I love me too, right? And so that's how it's time to get up on out of there. What's up, Princess Taya? Thank you for coming in. Thank you for joining. Dolly, man, there's so many like new people in here tonight. I'm so honored to have you. Welcome to Unbuttoned. So yeah, okay, a couple of things before we really get started. Again, there's a couple of things. So first thing is Unbuttoned. You'll now be able to catch the entire show on YouTube. So every episode for this year is going to be uploaded to YouTube. Thank you for the hearts. So that means if you miss a show, which you shouldn't miss a show, please don't miss a show. If you do, you'll be able to tune in, or if you want to rewatch it, you'll be able to tune in on YouTube and catch the full thing, because I only post a snippet on TikTok the next day, and we have some really, really great conversations in here. So yeah, you'll be able to look at those on YouTube. The other thing is, this actually might be our last show of January. I am moving. So that's big news. I'm moving. And if I could turn this camera around, you will see that my apartment is in shambles. It is a mess. Everybody knows how crazy it is to move. Thank you for the follow. I appreciate you. And so, yeah, my life is going to be kind of upside down for the next few weeks. I got to get out of here, and I got to get out of here fast. My cat and I, we are moving to a bigger place. We're moving to kind of our dream apartment. And so we're really excited. I'm excited about, if you see me looking over there, I'm looking at her because she's looking at me because she knows I'm talking about her. But yeah, so I'm moving. So the next time we see each other, this backdrop, y'all know the backdrop is my wine rack. And of course, the unbuttoned chair, but it's going to be a little bit different. Thank you so much. I'm really excited. So yeah, it's going to look a little different, but I'm still going to be in the unbuttoned chair. This is coming with me wherever I go. But yeah, I'm moving, so I might not be on here for the next couple weeks, but I'm always going to check in with you guys. I just need more space. I need more privacy. I need, I'm allergic to my cat. Some of you know that. And so we just need a little bit more space. So yeah, the other thing is I'm always, I get so personal with you guys because I just feel like, again, Unbuttoned is a safe space. When we talk about moving on, the reason I wanted to talk about this tonight was because I might be moving on from my therapist. She and I have a masculine-centered therapist, which they're very rare. And I specifically sought her out. I had one when I lived in Atlanta. She was white though. So she was great. She was amazing. She really kind of changed the course of my life, especially after I got separated from my wife at the time. She helped me, she put me on this path of, this is the rest of your life and what are you going to do with it? And I felt like she really got me and we really connected. And so I had a few therapists since her, but I wanted to get back to the space of having a masculine presenting therapist. And so I sought this one out, and she's been kind of amazing. Again, helping me out after, during the end of my relationship, but also after. But lately, well, I'll say this. In our last session, we had a little bit of we kind of butted heads a little bit. And that's okay. That's normal in therapy. Ushering in a new energy is a real blessing. Thank you. How do you survive your allergies? Man, am I surviving them? Is a great question. I take allergy pills every day. I do my best to, vacuum and keep everything kind of dust free as much as I can. But it's not easy. It's not easy. So I got to do something else. But yeah, so she and I, we had a run in, and that's normal. When you're in therapy, that person is supposed to challenge you. That person is not supposed to be, yes, they validate you, but they also need to call you out when you need to be called out. Right. So she's called me out a million times. She's told me, hey, she steered me on the right path. But this felt a little bit different. The run-in that we had, thank you so much. The run-in that we had felt a little bit, it was very tense. She and I were having a conversation, and she told me she felt like I wasn't listening to her. She told me that at one point she stopped the session and she was like, you know what? I'm just gonna let you run the session since you're not listening, you're not taking accountability. I was kind of shocked. First of all, when she comes into the session every week, she's late. She's late every single week, right? She is never on time. Coming down to the 10 minutes probably before each session, I put my phone on do not disturb. So I never get her text messages until after the session. And she's like, running late. Sorry, running late. And she's always very apologetic, and I get it. Sometimes sessions run over, I get it. But every time, you late to every single session. The last session, because they give you a 10-minute grace period, right? So we had a 10-minute grace period, and she was down to like 8.5 minutes, almost 9 minutes before she showed up. And I was just like, okay, not a big deal. But then she came into the session I could tell something was going on in her personal life. And again, hey, she is a person. She's a therapist, but she's also a real life person. I get it. But I felt like whatever she was going through, she took it out on me. She was sometimes she shows me a lot of tough love, and I need that. But this time she felt kind of mean. She felt a little bit aggressive. I told her about, also, let me back up a little bit, giving me a little bit of contradictory advice, and kind of showing me that she's not really listening to me, right? And which is important for a therapist, right? She asked me like, what's going on? What's going good? And what's going good in your life right now? And I told her about the show. I was like, I'm really excited about Unbuttoned. We're doing big things. We got a lot of people coming in. I'm meeting so many new people. And she was like, you didn't tell me about that. I didn't. I've told you about Unbuttoned so many times. We've talked about this. In fact, when I was really struggling, I'm in a much better place right now. But when I was really struggling, this was the one good thing that was going on for me. You guys being here and us having these sessions together. And so of course I shared that with her. But she was like, you didn't tell me about that. Cool. Red flag, right? Okay. Right. The other thing was, I told her, if you guys were here last week, I talked about my New Year's Eve date that actually did not happen. I tried to set up this date for New Year's Eve, even though I'm not ready to date, right? But I was trying it. I just wanted a date for the night, right? For New Year's Eve. It didn't work out. It was cool. I went out by myself. It was great. I told her about it. And I thought she was going to be excited because her advice to me previously was, you need to get back out there. You need to go have fun. You need to meet new people. You need to hang out with some like beautiful women and da-da-da. So I thought she'd be proud of me. She stopped me in the store. She's like, what makes you think you're ready to date? I'm like, I'm not ready to date. I'm not. But this wasn't, and she just talked over me. She was not, we just weren't getting each other. There was a huge disconnect. And the session just kind of went downhill. We went back and forth. We argued in the session, my therapist and I. And again, that's not necessarily a bad thing. Hi, Linda. What's up? Welcome in. But I don't know. I left feeling I didn't feel good about it at all. And I thought, okay, this doesn't mean that it's over. I can give her another chance. We can come back. She was writing up some emotional support animal documents for my cat. And so we had to interact throughout the week. And I thought maybe she'll apologize. I thought maybe she would at least acknowledge, okay, well, our session was a little bit tense. Next time we'll talk about what happened, yada, yada, yada. She never mentioned it. In fact, she just, even in the emails back and forth regarding the ESA paperwork, she was just kind of cold. I don't know what happened. And I think that was when I was like, okay, I think maybe it might be time to move on. Maybe she's not the right fit for me in this moment. Thank you for the heart, me. Because, and that's a lesson, right? That's a lesson in knowing when it's time. Because I can forgive somebody having a bad day, but when you kind of crash out on me and then you don't acknowledge it, you don't apologize. I'm really big on apologies, right? They mean a lot to me. That didn't happen. And that's when I was like, okay, I need to probably move on from this. So I haven't told her. We haven't talked about it. I'm telling you guys first. And you could weigh in. Maybe, am I being too sensitive? Am I being, I don't know. I think I won't feel safe in another session with her. Because again, when I feel like you're not listening to me, I don't know where to go from there. Your main job is to listen to me, right? When I feel like you're not remembering, and she's always distracted in the sessions too. Like she's always doing 100 things at once. And I get it. You got to write your notes. You got to do all of that stuff. But sometimes I'm like, where are you right now? Because you're not here. And, it's just unfortunate. It's just unfortunate because she's given me some great advice. She has been instrumental in me moving on to where I am right now. But like I said, I think we've reached the end of the road. Yeah, let go because she isn't listening and she doesn't care too at this point. Yeah. Had she come back and said, you know what, last session was kind of crazy. Let's talk about it again when we meet again. That would have been a different situation, but she didn't. So always trust your instincts when you feel it's time to let go. Yeah. That's kind of, again, that's what we're talking about tonight is how do you know? Have you ever stayed in a situation where, have you ever stayed too long because you didn't want to hurt someone or you didn't want to make someone else feel uncomfortable? I am a recovering people pleaser, and I've definitely avoided conflict. I've definitely stayed in situations I know I shouldn't have stayed in because I don't want to hurt the other person, right? I don't want it to be uncomfortable. And so for me, even recognizing that, hey, it's time to move on is big. And now I just have to get the courage to to say that to her. Whether I say it in our next session, like, hey, this is going to be our last session, or whether or not I send her an email or a text, I'm not sure. Or do I just not reschedule? Do I cancel? Or we've already rescheduled, but do I cancel the upcoming appointment? Because there's a couple things going on here, right? One, she's providing a service. So like, if you decide to leave your loctician, I'm never leaving mine, by the way. Do you need to write her an email? Do you need to, send her a text and say, hey, or do you just not go? But the other thing is it's a relationship, right? It's a very intimate relationship. So I think, it makes sense to have a conversation with her. And it's about my growth as well. It's going to be really important for me at this stage in my life to have a conversation that's a little bit uncomfortable. So I think either I'm going to email her or I'm going to meet with her and say, hey, can we talk about this? So yeah, there's that. And I just want to ask you guys, like, what's something that you've outgrown, but you're still there? What's keeping you there? Is it you're afraid to step out on your own? Because listen, we all know who we are in this moment, but we don't know who we are on the other side of leaving that relationship, leaving that job, leaving that whatever. And that's another thing is my job. I know that it's past time to move on from it. And I've been dragging my feet. I've actually been actively working in my passion. In fact, it's at the point now where my passion is really taking over so much of my time that I almost don't have time for my 9 to 5, right? But I still have it. And I'm still holding on to it. And why is that? That sense of security. And we feel that when it comes to, again, relationships as well. The conversation will benefit you. Write your thoughts, then speak them. That's a really good tip. Because I tend to get all, when I'm emotional, I tend to get all like jumbled up. And my words don't come out quite right. But writing it down is a good idea. So yeah, again, we're in January, we're in a new season, and this is the perfect time to move on. So I'm telling you right now, if you are in a situation where you shouldn't be, I'm not saying leave tonight. I'm saying pay attention, think about it, right? Um, what are the signs? What are the signs that it's time to move on? If you feel unsafe, I don't feel safe right now with my therapist, unfortunately. Emotionally. Um, have you felt unsafe in a situation, but you keep rationalizing it, whether that's physically safe, emotionally safe? Um, you feel Another sign is you feel dread before every interaction with that person, or dread showing up to work every day when you're not supposed to be there. When you get that sense of, oh my God. And it's more than the, what do they call it? The Sunday scaries that we all get on Sunday night before we got to go to work. It's a little bit more than that. It's, oh my God, I hate being here. That's a sign that you probably need to move on. When you are shrinking your own needs to make somebody else comfortable, that's a sign to move on. What else? When you're more anxious than comfortable. Do I pray or meditate in these moments? Yeah, I do. I do a little bit of both. Yeah, I do. I think that's very important. Just to have some quiet time, whether you pray, you meditate, whether you just sit with your thoughts. Yeah, I definitely do. Losing yourself within a relationship, yeah. That's a big red flag. That's a definite sign that you need to move on. When you don't feel seen anymore, you don't feel heard. Again, I don't feel seen with my therapist right now, or heard. Definitely not at work. When your relationship requires you to ignore yourself, and ignore your own needs and abandon your needs, these are all signs. So, I don't want to, I've learned this the hard way in the past. And I can tell you that I'm incredibly proud of myself for even having this thought so soon. Like, I felt uncomfortable during the session. Right after, I was like, you know what? I'm not feeling this. And then I waited a little bit. I was like, I'm gonna give it a chance. And then I was like, no. And somebody said it earlier, you got to trust your intuition. And so definitely, we stay in apartments too long. We stay in relationships too long. We stay, whether that's friendships or romantic relationships. Sometimes we need to just know when it's time to go. And again, leaving doesn't mean I hate you. Leaving doesn't mean I didn't have a good time. I don't wish you well. But leaving means I got to put myself first. Good night, Kristen. What's up, Justy? Welcome back. Thank you for coming back through. We had a great conversation on the last Unbuttoned, and I appreciate you guys coming through. So talk to me, guys. Like, tell me what y'all thinking. Tell me what's going on with y'all tonight. Knowing when to walk away is a superpower. 1,000%. 1,000%. I've lived with so much fear of making the next step. In so many different areas of my life. Just not trusting myself. Thank you. Not trusting myself. And something clicked for me in the last few months of 2025. And I've just been on go mode. I've just been on, there is nothing that I can't do. there's nothing that I can't accomplish. And so I feel so aligned. And that's another thing. That's whoa, whoa, whoa. That's another way that you know when it feels right to make the next move, to get on out of there. What's up? What's up? You know what? This is the point of the conversation where I feel like I've been talking to myself a little bit too long. So I'm gonna bring my friend up here. Annihilator, where'd you go? Say something so I could bring you up. Yeah, I left because I'm leaving because I'm ready, and I wish that was more normalized, you know? Let's see where Annihilator is tuning in from tonight. Where's she at? Hey.
Hey,
Where are you at in the world tonight?
I'm actually still home. I don't leave for Hawaii until the 17th.
Okay. So
Yeah,
you still okay. How
few
are you?
days. I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good. I'm good.
Yay.
Yeah, I'm busy. Things are crazy.
I know
Uh
you are.
cuz I'm moving, but I feel good. I'm excited.
That's good. That's always good. I love
Yeah.
a fresh start. Like, I'm the type of person that I am so open to new beginnings that sometimes if I'm somewhere too long, like I just feel so stagnant. So I love new towns, new cities, new
Yeah.
states,
Yeah.
I just love, that's like my jam.
I mean, you're in the perfect profession for that.
I know. That's
She's a
probably
flight
why.
attendant, everybody. And so, I mean, she's always somewhere new and
Yeah.
different. That's so exciting. I can never
But
do it.
there's the downside is like sometimes people who have that attribute can get bored of everyday life and things.
Hmm.
So there's
Yeah.
it's a backside to that too.
Yeah, absolutely. And I have a friend who she moves like every 6 months. She moves like a
Wow.
couple of times a year, and I'm like, I I want to be able to put down roots somewhere. Like I'm all for change
Yeah.
and excitement
Yeah.
and all that stuff, but that's a lot for me.
Yeah, I think that's a bit much for that's ambitious. Like God
Hmm.
bless. That's a bit much for me, but I just personally hate like moving. I love the traveling and stuff,
Yeah.
but to actually pack up a place literally drives me
The worst.
insane.
It's the worst. I it's the worst. Even when you have help, like I'm getting someone to come in. I'm donating most of my things. Like I'm not
Yeah.
taking anything into the new apartment with me really. I'm giving away everything. So I'm having the people to come pick up the stuff to donate. I'm having movers come, I'm having cleaners come. Even with all of that, it's still a lot. It's
It
still a lot.
is. It's exhausting. And then
It is,
when you
but
move, you're not done because once you get to the new place, you gotta
you
like
gotta unpack.
unpack and put
You
stuff
gotta unpack, you
away.
gotta decorate, you gotta settle in.
I want a refund. I don't want to do it.
Yeah, I've heard of people who they pay to have it all unpacked and like set
You
it
know
all
what?
up,
That's a beautiful service to offer,
right?
though.
Right?
I can't stand it.
The emotional toll of letting go is to say, yeah, unpacking is my favorite part.
Oh my God, but
What?
she's hired.
Oh my gosh. Where are you in Houston? Because I'm gonna give you my address. Please come help.
Right?
Help, please. Because
Kristen, pull up.
I already know I'm gonna be unpacking for a while. It takes me so long
Yeah.
to get everything. Yes, I love to decorate. I'm in Canada. Boo, boo.
Oh, that's too
Why?
far.
Canada, why? Yeah, it's a little bit far. But yeah, but the overall feeling is excitement.
Yes, that's
Um,
good.
I'm
I'm
super
glad you're
excited.
feeling good about it, though.
Yeah,
Thanks, good. It's time.
it is time for sure.
Um,
And you know, I'm gonna invite you all to the housewarming.
Hey, turn
Even
up.
from even from Canada. Come on
Turn
through. Let's do
up.
it. What's up, Jasmine? Welcome to Unbuttoned. We're just yapping tonight about moving on. How do you know it's time? What's holding you back from moving on? If there are things that you need to move on from, how do you know it's the right move? What's your
Yeah.
body feel? You know?
Amen.
Yeah.
What's your nervous system like? Is it shot? It's time to go.
Have you experienced that?
Oh yes. Oh my gosh. My last relationship, I almost had one of those white jackets on.
Oh Lord.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, okay, let me ask you
Narcissist.
this though. When things were not great,
Mm-hmm.
how many chances, how many tries did you give it before you were
Too
like, all right, I'm
many.
out?
This is the thing. I had become addicted to the highs and the lows.
Mm,
So I was on this hamster wheel with it for a while of
yeah.
just like you get a glimpse of a person they want you to see, and that is so great, right? And then when they show that other, the actual self, it's confusing, but you're like, but wait, this person really is great. This person is really amazing. I don't know what's happening. What can I do to fix it? So I constantly was in a sense of like wanting to fix and cater and like
hmm
bring that other person back, but really that person didn't really exist.
That's the thing. And you stay for potential instead of what the
Right.
person is actually showing you.
Right.
Yeah.
It was a
Isn't that crazy?
scam. Yeah. But yeah, I don't know. I hope I never find that kind of love again. Jesus help me.
How long was it?
I stayed with that person for like a little over a year.
Okay.
Yeah. But
Yeah.
yeah. But she was the first person, like I said, I told you before, like that my family has, gotten to know and meet. But we're past all that now, thank goodness. But she
How's
was
your heart? How's the healing
it's
going?
it's it's going very well. It was really rough the first 90 days, I would say. Um but it's great. I mean, I still have hope that there's, a person who can love the way that I love and that our love, can be compatible because there's a lot of variables to that. So, I'm hopeful.
I'm
I'm
hopeful
hopeful.
for you.
Thank you.
I'm hopeful for us. um,
Amen.
yeah, it's like you said, those first few months really difficult. And this is something that my therapist has really drilled into my head about staying in the present, you know,
Hmm.
because I can tend to be back there in the past. Like, oh man, like what if I had done this differently? What if I had said this differently?
Yeah.
What if this had never happened? That had never, and she's like, you gotta stay right here. You can't do it. And so that's something that I'm working on.
Yeah.
Um, knowing your
It's
worth, knowing that,
absolutely.
listen, that person, yo, they missed out. They missed out.
Yeah, it just wasn't. If it was meant to be, it would have worked. I just
Yeah.
definitely feel like everything does happen, and sometimes you get shown things so that you can know next time exactly what you don't want, so you can see those signs. Like although I will say at this big grown age, I'm tired of lessons.
Mm.
But
Whew.
like they still happen, so it's just like, all right, just hoping I can, it'll be better next time.
1000%. It will be. And,
Hmm.
you know, everything is a learning experience. And that's so
Yeah.
cliche. And like you said, we're tired of lessons and all of that. But we are learning, we are growing. And that's a good thing.
Yeah, for sure.
That's not, I learned so much. Oh my God. It's like a crash course in Iran these past few months. And it's been a beautiful thing.
Amen to that.
Now I just got to find a new therapist. We're not on the
Me
hunt for
too.
a new relationship, but we on the hunt
Yeah.
for a new therapist.
Yeah. I had
So
to let mine go. That's why I thought it was kind of funny when I chimed in and you were talking about that. And I was
you
just like,
did. Tell me about that.
Well, this is the thing. Like, I feel like her process of how she does her therapy is like, I don't know if it's that she wanted me to like really figure things out, but I'm coming to you for tools. And I feel like you're just basically reiterating me or asking me like what I should do. Like,
Mm,
what?
yeah, yeah.
Like for everything, not like just certain things. I was like, I could talk to myself in the mirror if this is the case. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I don't know. It wasn't yeah. It's yeah.
It's
It's
very much about finding the right fit, right? Because you
yeah.
do have those therapists who they don't say much, they just listen to you. Like you ask them a question, they're like, "What do you think about that?" They come back to you like asking you like, okay, they don't really give you a whole lot of guidance. They just kind of
Mhm.
listen, and that might not work for you. For
Yeah,
someone
it
else, that might
didn't.
work.
Yeah.
Um,
Not my style.
yeah, and then for me, like I told you, like this particular therapist. I've had ones like that, and then I've had ones who were like very like kind of tough, and she was one
Mm.
of the tough ones, and I was like, okay, yeah, like I need this, yes, I need you to like whip me into shape, and it was cool, but yeah, she kind of dropped the ball on a few things. What's
Yeah.
up? Thank you so much, Rose. I appreciate you. Thank you for being here. Yeah. Um,
It's hard to find a good fit, but I like I said, I'm hopeful for that as well. Like to find somebody that's just gonna be, mesh well better. And also I didn't like that she always cut our sessions like short. Like, what you mean?
what do you mean, like cut them short? Like she's like, oh
Like
well.
it's supposed to be like an hour, but she would
Mhm.
always be like 45 minutes in. She's like, oh, like I'm wrap this up. And I'm like,
Really?
yeah. So she did that a few times, and I was like, yeah, I don't like that.
Wow. Yeah, that's like mine who starts every session 10, 15 minutes late because she always late.
No.
She's
Oh,
always
honey.
late. A little
I
bit
don't like
unprofessional.
that.
Yeah. Yeah.
But if you're late, then they still charge you. You know what I'm saying? So I don't. Yeah, I don't like that.
I
I would.
waited for her every single session, like every single one. I
Yeah, I
was
would
waiting
lose
like, is she
respect. And once I lose respect, it's a wrap.
TikTok? Yep. And that's so important. I've enjoyed when my therapist asked me because it taught me to value and trust my inner voice. Yeah. So,
Yeah.
that type of therapy might work for you. It's just about finding, just like in a relationship, you got to find that fit
Yeah.
for you. The
Like I
one.
said, I don't mind. I think that is good for you to kind of like tap into, but I feel like she did that for everything. So I'm like, well, what am I
Mhm.
talking to you for? Like,
Right.
if you can't provide me with any tools, like
Okay. But let
that.
me ask you this. Since I'm in this position now, how did you end it? Did you just not reschedule? Did you tell her, look, I don't think this is the right fit?
No, I didn't tell her shit. That's the last time she saw me. The last time she saw my face.
That
Yeah, I
was
didn't tell her
it.
nothing. Yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna say I'm proud of that, but that's just how I handled the situation. Um, I don't think that's necessarily the right way, but I just was like, you know what? Like, you cut my session short. You know, you didn't put forth the effort to rebook. Said just give you a call so I didn't call. She's like, yeah, whenever you're ready for another session, just give it. So she's still waiting for a call, I guess, or not, because I just didn't book another one.
I think she got the point. I think she got the message.
Yeah, I guess
Yeah.
so. But you know what's funny though? Like 2 days ago, I got something from her office saying, "Oh, we haven't heard from you in a while." Ooh, you haven't? Yeah.
We haven't heard from you in a while. Yeah, I'm still trying to figure it out. Like, do I say something? Do I just let it go? I don't know. We
Hey,
shall see.
friend.
What's up? What's up, my friend?
Hi.
What's
I'm
going
sorry.
on?
I'm sorry I'm late. I got a lot going on, but hey, I'm
Uh,
here.
Listen, it's okay. I'm glad that you're here. Thank you for coming through. I always appreciate you every time I see you. So, how's it going?
No,
You good?
oh shit. You're in my car. I'm sorry. I'm in the car.
Oh, you're in the car. Where you going?
Can you give me my backpack?
Okay, she's driving. Don't be a distracted driver.
Yeah, be safe out there.
Safety first.
Yes, amen.
Do you have on your seatbelt?
Right?
Come on in. What's up, Bree? Thank you for coming. Thank you for joining. We're just yapping about moving on. Choosing yourself. You know,
Amen.
something I'm still learning how to do. Still working on. No,
No.
friend, did I bring you up here too early? You weren't ready for me.
Choose. So the topic is choosing self.
The topic
Well,
is
after the night I chose myself. Hell.
Oh, okay.
say more.
Shit, I really can't.
Oh shit. Okay.
But
Okay.
mean,
Really, we talking about moving on. I'm moving on from
you know,
my apartment. I'm moving, like literally moving. I am, which I told you. I'm moving on from my therapist because I don't think she's the right fit anymore. I am considering moving on from my job. I've been considering. That's an example of some place I've stayed too long. And obviously, we're talking about moving on from relationships and friendships as well. So, yeah. I'll say that any topic that I have on this show is because it's personal to me. And so this week last week was all about me thinking about moving on and what keeps me in places too long. And how I don't want to do that anymore and how I want to be so like true to myself first and foremost. And so I had to come and talk to you guys about it.
Yeah, you gotta be selfish,
Yeah.
really important to yourself. But that's easier said than done. I think for many, many, many years I was such a creature of habit. And it's like I think when I hit my 40s, there's something happened there where I
Yeah.
just was like, you know what? Fuck it. I'm just gonna do, you know what I mean? Something different. So, how I even got into the industry I'm in now, because 20 years previously, I did something completely different consistently. So me even leaving the field that I was in like for forever to do
What were
this,
you
people were
in?
like, I was a pastry chef. So people were like, have you lost your mind? Like you're going to go stop to go be, they were like, you're gonna go be a waitress in the sky, whatever. Right.
So
And I was
disrespectful.
like, well, but at the same time, they're now watching my life being like, oh my God, like that's so amazing. While they're
Exactly.
still like, slaving in the kitchen, which is fine. But yeah, sometimes you have to just take a leap of faith. And I think that's basically what I did. I just was like, you know what? I never saw myself doing anything else. I knew I wanted to be a chef when I was in high school. I started culinary school my senior year, graduated intern, worked in the industry. I cooked and baked for celebrities, ex-presidents, the whole nine. And I never
Wow.
thought I was going to do something else. And then, COVID happened, things got a little wonky, and this opportunity fell in my lap. And I said, you know what? I'm going to try it. I
Went
said
for
a
it.
year, right? So I
Mm-hmm.
give myself a year, see how I like it. And now it's going on 4 years. And now I don't know if I could go back to doing like a regular 9 to 5.
Not
It's
after
crazy.
you're in Guam 1 minute, you're in Hawaii the next minute.
It's
How you gonna go
crazy.
back to that? How you gonna go
I
back to the
don't
nine to
That's
five?
what I'm saying, but I just tried it. I was like, all right, I'm gonna just jump, and I just jumped, and
Yeah.
here we go.
People will try to
have
keep
to
you
like
locked in
choose.
and tied to a version of you that they want you. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
they will try to keep you locked into
I
that. And
agree.
sometimes we do that to ourselves.
Mhm.
So I'm so glad that you listen to that voice that's like, you know what? Let me try something new.
That's
You know?
it. Yeah. I don't know if I'll do it like forever,
Yeah, and that's
but
okay.
for now, it's been, I think, for my own personal growth, it's been so important to have this time, seeing the world, and doing a lot of things on my own, which I've had problems with because I was such a like always in a relationship or married or something like that. So this has been really like personal growth, like big time for me.
For sure, for sure. And I'm so glad you said that because same, for me, I'm always in a relationship, always very much dedicated to the relationship, to the person. I'm very much like, okay, what's your dream? Let's build that together. And at some point it's like, what about you? What about Ian? You know what I mean? And I'm very much in that very selfish season right now. And so apparently being selfish is good sometimes.
Yes, it
Because
is.
Yeah, for sure.
yeah, I've really been blessed. It's been amazing. Yanli, you good? I'm gonna mute you for a second. I don't know what's going on. What's up, Ray? Thank you for coming through. But here's a question. How do you know, okay, let's say when it comes to a relationship, how do you know when you're just going through a rough patch and things will, you'll eventually come through on the other side versus nah, it's time to chop it.
Well, I think for me, like, I am a type of person that does give people multiple tries and chances, but I think it depends on the degree of whatever that disagreement or whatever the instance is. Once it starts becoming like, number one, if there's anything physical that happens, I'm out.
Oh
If
yeah.
there's anything that's super, disrespectful, like, I'm out. You know what I mean? Because that goes to the core and the character of the person. So if you claim that you love me, but you talking to me crazy, you don't. Like, I
Crazy.
already know what it is. So yeah, I'm gonna step. So I think it just, for me, it depends on, like, a few different variables on when I'm like, but when I'm gone, oh Jesus, I'm Carmen Sandiego. You can't find me. I'm gone.
You're that person? Are you
Yeah,
that
I
person
am.
that like when you leave you like block everything?
Oh,
They can't.
everything. Like I was never there.
Dang.
Mm-hmm.
You that guy. Okay. All right.
Yep. I'm like, look right into the flash like Men in Black, and it's like, oh,
Oh
gone,
my goodness. Damn.
gone.
Like it never happened, huh?
Never happened.
See, I'm I'm struggling. I'm struggling with that. I it's hard for me. It's hard for me to be like, all right, never existed. Peace. That's tough.
Yeah, I could literally see like an ex, and they could talk to me, and I would act like it was the first time I ever met them.
My
Like, there's
God.
no way you could have never known me,
Teach me how to do that. Teach me how to do that.
girl.
Um,
I fake it till you make it. Basically, you gotta start somewhere, and then you know what I mean. It just builds up. But yeah, people, I'd be like, miss me with that.
have your previous partners not fed into you also? Are you talking to me personally? Um, I'll answer it. I wouldn't say that. I'd say that obviously I'm single, so whatever it was, it didn't work. So I'd say that I've had, definitely like misalignments, in past relationships. I've never had someone just, do me dirty to the point where like I hate them. It's not been like that. It's been this just isn't working out. You know what I mean? So yeah, I mean, I'd say that whatever situation I was in, I enjoyed it in the moment. But just didn't work out. What about you? You want to answer that question, Annihilator?
Oh, you're so nice. I'm Petty LaBelle. Don't don't you know what I mean? You start acting petty around me, and I'm gonna show you petty, which is horrible. And honestly, that's another reason why I started therapy again, because I'm like, bro, I am too old to be crashing out and being, you know what I mean? But
You were
I
crashing out.
think for,
Yeah.
I think for me, it's just like when it gets to a place where I feel like I even have to remotely go backwards in who I am as a person, then it's
Hmm.
definitely time for me to go.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, I should have probably called that shit with my ex a long time ago.
Yeah.
But I kept thinking, like, where's that person that I first met? Where is,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
yeah, no.
Yeah. And I also think it's important to not be too hard on yourself. Give yourself grace. You loved. That love was genuine. That love was real. And it's not easy to walk away from someone that you love. You know? So, don't spend a lot of time focusing on damn, I should have left a long time ago. It's okay. I
Yeah.
left when I couldn't do it anymore. Or shit, they left me. God
I
damn it.
I left when the disrespect became way too loud.
Mm-hmm.
Where it was undeniable and there was no protection for me. That person did not protect my
You didn't
heart,
feel
did not
safe.
protect our relationship. So I was like, I have got to go. But in the meantime, I'm gonna light something on fire. No, I'm just kidding. But
Did you literally light
no, I
something on
didn't.
fire?
I mean, not literal, no. But as far as that
You were like
relationship, I burned it.
Angela
Scorched and
Bassett
burned.
and Waiting to Exhale. You
Oh,
just set
absolutely.
that shit on
Walking
fire.
off with a cigarette in my mouth. Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yo,
Yeah.
burned it to the ground.
Oh, I did. Scorched. Yeah.
Hi, Toya. Thank you for coming through. We're just talking about moving on. Holding your boundaries with someone you're in love with is so difficult. Listen, say it again,
But
Christy.
someone who's in love with you should never be pushing your boundaries in the first place. And that's where I messed up. I kept getting my boundaries pushed back out of love, but that person did not love nor respect my boundaries and pushed them every single time.
Yeah. Especially when they know what your boundaries are and they
Yes.
intentionally cross them. They intentionally say, you know what, I don't care.
Exactly.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
thank you.
Hi, Ren. Hi, what's up? Thank you for coming in. I always appreciate you coming through. Thank you for all your love, your support. If you're just joining, we're talking about moving on. I'm also talking about how I probably won't be back here for a couple weeks because I'm crazy right now. I'm moving. But when this Unbuttoned is gonna be kind of it's gonna be a good year. We're gonna get into some really deep topics, even deeper. And you can catch us on YouTube moving forward. So look out for that. Deliberately pushing or triggering you? That's the question.
Absolutely.
Deliberately?
I think it was deliberate. I think that this person liked to get reactions out of me. So to me, I mean, I can't positively say that because it's somebody else, but I feel like looking back, a lot of it was deliberate.
And the question is why? 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 Is it because do you feel like they loved you the way that you love them? What is someone's motivation? What is someone's reason for crossing a boundary that you've clearly stated? What do you think? It can come off as hidden resentment sometimes. So what things did you overlook or rush past at the start? Whew, the flags. The flags. You know what? For me, I would say something that is a red flag and I'm just speaking in general. I'm talking about any particular person. I'm just gonna say that a red flag to me is not wanting to have a conversation. When I tell you, look, this is bothering me. There's something that you did that you might not even have uh, realized you did it, but you did. It hurt my feelings. It bothered me. Can we have a conversation? And they're like, I don't really want to talk. Or, you're so sensitive. You so sensitive? Big red flag. Big red flag right there. I used to let intensity distract me. I no longer do that. Consistent behavior wins. Yeah. Consistency. That's a turn on. That's high.
Amen.
Consistency. Don't be all over the place. Yeah, calling me sensitive in a negative way, telling me I'm doing too much, telling me that, oh, you make everything a big deal. Are you so dramatic when I'm just telling you how I feel? Yeah, problematic. Big issue. What happened tonight, lady? You got knocked off?
Yeah, like it was like frozen. I was like, what the heck?
Yeah,
So
dismissive
yeah.
avoidance, 1000%. Um, and that's that's a reason I'm sorry I'm letting my therapist go because that's something that we were working on. It's like she was like, you need to recognize these signs so that you don't fall into the same situations in your next relationship. So we were really working on those things, but I think I don't think we're going to get a chance to finish that. So
Hmm.
consistently good or not good, and to gather that data we have, yeah. It's about paying attention. It's about paying attention to how you feel, um, and that's hard to do when you are in the throes of love and passion and oh my god, like her smile, her smile, how she's she smells so good and damn, like all the good things, right? You get lost in that, and then you're like, I could let this go. I could let this go until it comes to a point where it's like, oh shit, maybe I shouldn't have overlooked this because now we have problems. Now it's a big problem, you know.
Yeah. And
So
one thing I've learned is definitely pay attention.
yeah,
Like you can't let little things slide, and when stuff happens, you have to speak up right away. Because I've done that in the past. Like not really said how I was feeling about things, and then like it just piles up. You know what I mean? So you gotta nip it in the bud early.
thank you for the rose. Call me fire. I appreciate you. Yeah. What about when you do say something and the reaction that you get when you say something is just so negative that it just it corrects you. It kind of gives you like a slap on the wrist and you're like, I'm not going to say anything next time. You kind of yeah. Yanla.
But
I've
at
had
least you
that
said your
experience.
piece. At
Okay.
least you said your piece, you know?
Yeah.
Amen.
Yeah.
It might be the last piece you get from out
I
of me,
mean, that's
but
how.
yes.
Right. You know, at least you said it and you walked away, and that you said what you said, and that's off your back.
Yeah.
And you shouldn't expect another person's reaction to be how you want it to be. Simple as that. Their reaction is their reaction.
Yep.
You know, it is what it is.
1000%.
You said it, you done, and walk away. And then I agree with you. I would block and
We
ghost
know you be
and be like,
blocking.
bye. I said my piece. Yeah, I do. Very much so. Hella hard.
Is it hard?
So yeah.
It's
From the
hard.
No,
okay.
I said no. I said hella hard. I block. Like
Oh,
I say my
Oh
piece,
hella
yeah.
hard.
It's
Okay.
and then
strong.
I block,
Okay.
The force is
and that's
strong with
it.
this one.
Very much.
Yes.
Y'all are real strong
Like
for that. I blocked someone for like
it's
2 days, and I was like, oh shit, let me unblock.
no. Fuck a two. Fuck a two.
What's the
Fuck a. You
reason to
won't get
unblock though?
Well, because
right.
okay,
That's what I want to
all
know.
right. So I
Me
think
too.
for me, it's like, why do I need to block you, right? If we, I always think we could be okay. Like we don't have to be together, but we could be civil. We don't have to even be friends, but we don't have to be in a situation where if I need to or want to say something to you, if I want to tell you happy birthday, I can't say it because I'm blocked or I blocked you. You know what I mean? That's what I think about. Like you didn't do anything to me that was so egregious that I need to cut you off completely, you know? But I will say the last person that I blocked them because and I had the conversation with my therapist. I thought about it for a long time and I blocked them because I was like I'm looking at my phone constantly to see if they text me. That's the space that I was in. Every time I picked up my phone, I was like, oh shit, and getting heartbroken every time that I didn't see that name on my phone. Because you get into a routine with someone, right? You get into a routine of this person is texting you all the time, this person is calling you all the time, and then when that's gone, it's like every time it's heartbreaking. And
I
so
do understand that.
yeah, and so I blocked them because I was waiting. I was hopeful. And when it wasn't happening, I was like, you know what? The only way I can not feel this hope is if I block them and don't allow them to have contact with me. Even if they wanted to. So I'm not looking at they probably didn't even think about it, reaching out to me. But I am looking at my phone in hopes that they will, right? And so I was like, I gotta block them. So I blocked them for like a week, and then I unblocked.
Oh no, I stayed. It's ice cold over here. I stayed. Listen,
It's so
once you get
cold,
off this
so
ride,
cold.
baby, there is no getting back on.
Ooh,
I agree.
You're off.
I agree.
That's it.
But
And
to
when you
me,
see
that
somebody
also-
else on the ride and it ain't you, I'm sorry.
that
ooh,
part.
yeah,
I feel bad for
That's-
you.
yeah,
I
yeah.
do agree.
Okay.
But
that
I'm
just goes to
also
show
not
that
the
you
type
still
that's
have
like,
feelings, you
I
know?
don't
You need to work
message
through
my
it.
ex's happy birthday.
Well, yeah.
You know, I just don't leave those lines of communication open, because if we had a failed romantic relationship, for me, there's no downgrade of like, oh, we're just going to be friends. To me,
Oh, you
that's
see
the
that as a
next thing, because
downgrade.
there were feelings involved. Well, for
I
me,
agree
I'm
with
talking about
him.
just for me.
Mhm.
For me personally, I feel like that's a downgrade. We couldn't even make it work and communicate and do all these things in a romantic relationship. What makes you think I want you as a friend?
Well, maybe it's an upgrade. Maybe the friendship is an upgrade.
It's an upgrade.
Maybe you weren't. Some people value friendships more than they do the
That-
relationship. You know what I mean? Like
I got
maybe.
best
but
friends. Listen. I've got friends that I've known since preschool. I don't need more friends. Either
That
you're gonna
part.
be a partner, or you gonna be something I walk past in the streets and act like I never knew.
Oof.
I agree with
I
her.
don't want to be your
I
ex annihilator
agree.
because you.
No.
Damn.
Okay. I
Golly.
agree with her. I agree with you.
I know you do.
I really do. Like, it's not when I've given you a part of me that I can't give back. I gave you a part of me, intimacy. I gave you
Yeah.
a part of me that nobody has touched. So why would I want to keep giving you that part? You know, like, no.
I feel like
that's
it's
a
also
no-go.
it's like it's cheating yourself, because if you have feelings for this person, I feel like you end up in this space where when you do, or if you do meet somebody, it's almost a triangle, because you still caring for this other person that you used to be romantic with. You're not leaving a true dedicated space for the new person you're with, and I don't like it. I run a
Let me tell you
strict
something.
operation.
That's controversial in this world over here, because in the queer world, if you meet someone who is not friends with their ex, you have met a unicorn. Okay?
That's
You
where
have
I'm
met
at.
a
Where I'm at right
fucking
now.
unicorn.
Yep.
It's crazy out here. Scorpio path. Oh Lord. Those Scorpios, Jesus Christ. Well, I'm a unicorn. Okay, Kristen. Okay. All right. Okay, let me flip the switch a little bit here. Have you ever had to move on from something that was good? It was good. It was good, but you knew that it was holding you back from where you were actually supposed to be. And again, that could be a job, a relationship, a friendship. You know, this is good. This feels good. This feels comfortable, but I'm not growing here. You know?
Can I share a story?
Yeah, please.
I had this person that I used to date. We were actually friends. Really good, like, friends. And then we grew to like really, really like each other.
Mm-hmm.
And like, she checked off boxes and it was beautiful, but
Checked off the boxes.
she did for me. And when we tried to take it to the next level, she told me that she couldn't give me what I wanted. And I was heartbroken, but I knew, like, I had to, like, let that go. Like, completely. I cried for a whole week.
Really sorry to hear that.
I cried for a whole week. And then I was like, you know what? I'm done. I didn't. Crazy part is I didn't block her, but I took her number out my phone. Um, but even if she tries to contact me today through the same number, I don't reach back out. I don't do none of that. But I knew I would be shortchanging myself if
I
I
respect
would
that
have
at least she
allowed
was
it.
honest with you though.
Yeah.
Right, me too. Me too. Like that, she like that. I was like, bro, most, you know, like wow. I was shocked. And it, and she tells me she checks on me every now and then. She'll text me and be like, hey, I'm just checking on you. I don't respond back because I don't want to get my feelings hurt, you
So,
know.
okay. All right. Let me
But
ask you this. So, after that, you didn't think that you could go back to being friends?
no, no. Cause
So it's a wrap. I feel the same
yeah,
way.
it's a rap. I told her my deepest, darkest secrets that I don't tell
Mm.
people. Like for real. Like that's how close we were.
Level of intimacy, I think for me, I'm not, some people, maybe I'm just immature. Maybe I'm not mature enough for that type of a thing. But like, no.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I
No,
mean?
you're
Like,
not. Like,
I
some people, once you cross that line into, okay, we've seen each other naked, we have, not just the sexual parts, but we've done things that we just cross a different level than friendship. Some people can't go back, like, and that's okay. That's okay.
also too, like for me, like my friends, they're people that I've never been romantic with. What I'm
Mhm.
finding out in a lot of the queer community is everyone's best friends their ex. I don't like it.
I feel
Y'all
you.
can't. And
Yeah.
to me, it's a bad sign that you can't cultivate non-romantic friendships. To me, that's the if you're telling me all the
What?
people that you're friends with, you have dated, you've seen them come. Like I'm out
You said
because
what?
that means you can't even have regular friends. Like that's a
Annihilator,
bad
what did
sign
you
to me.
say?
You heard what I said.
You've
Like what?
seen them what? Okay. Yep.
I
For real.
can't.
For real. I don't even know what to say after that. Yeah.
That's okay.
Hi. Tell me how to say your username.
Hi, good evening.
Hi,
Hi.
My name's Shubumi.
Shibumi.
Yes,
Welcome,
Nice.
welcome. Thank you for
thank
coming
you.
up.
Thank you
Yeah. What
for
do you
inviting me.
Yeah, it's good to meet you. What do you think about the topic of moving on, and like, can you relate to having to move on to things that are, difficult to move on from?
I can. I okay, so I'll limit this to like professional life. I think that for me, professionally, when it's been time for me to move on from a team or from a space or um yeah, so I'll just to sort of ground this so people understand better what I mean. So I work in the humanitarian and development sector, and so that sometimes means, well, all of the time means that I'm based in less than luxurious and ideal settings. So I'm one of those people who um, tends to run towards the danger or runs in when there is chaos. Um, However, I don't necessarily work on the humanitarian side of things. I work more on the development side of things. So um, after the bullets have settled and we're looking to like set up emergency schools or get farming back up and running or things like that, that's where I come into play.
And you're not
And then I
speaking
also,
figuratively. You're speaking about
no, this is
literal.
what I do. This is what I've done for the past
Oh,
13 years.
wow.
And now I'm shifting more into sort of advising leadership in different NGOs and organizations that are involved in this work,
Oh my goodness.
because there is a shift in the sector from depending on external aid to developing like local capacities and really, really like listening to the communities and countries that suffer from cyclical violence and climate change problems, etc., and so forth. So,
Wow.
anyways, so this is what I do. So sometimes I have overstayed my welcome or my utility in a team. And how do I know this? I know this when questions and scenarios and meetings start to arise that are calling into question my personal values
Mm.
and calling into question how I like to do my work. So if I'm being put in a situation where I have to think more about a donor's priority versus what a local community needs, and then I don't have the support of my leadership saying, please go with what the local community needs, then for me, we're at a place where I can no longer be useful, because I will never privilege an ego driven giving of money and looking for a photo op. I will never privilege that over giving the proper care and the proper service that a community needs. So
Right.
when those types of things start to happen, I know it's time. Other things that have signaled in the past is when I start to have a lot more weird spats with my leadership. I mean, this is one of those sectors where, kind of like the US military, where sometimes the terrain of like harassment for women who are really good at their jobs um, is beleaguered by like sexual harassment and abuse of power and things like this. So when those types of things start to become more frequent, I know it's time to get out of Dodge.
For
Like, this is
sure.
not a team that I can continue to thrive in, because I will never acquiesce and I will never give in. And then that becomes like fallout for the people I have to supervise. And I never want to be an obstacle to their ability to do their work well or to progress in their work or for us to have peace of mind. So that then is a moment that I have to leave. And my body begins to like signal in all kinds of ways that this is no longer a safe space for you to be in. This is no longer a space where you can be maximally efficient, right? And so that kind of mirrors a bit like then what happens in like personal interactions, right? So
Mm-hmm.
if I'm in a relationship and it's gotten to a place where, well, I've never really had that kind of of an experience in romantic space. However, I have in like casual dating observed that there are moments where I'm doing a lot of the feeding and I'm not being fed in
Mm-hmm.
return,
Yeah.
or there's like misalignment in terms of like emotional intelligence or intellectual capacity, and then it's like we're just in this thing that's just going round and round. And there really is no evolution, there is no progress, there is no
Yeah.
betterment,
Yeah.
but my energy is still being tapped because for some reason in the past I haven't diluted. So if a person requires something of me in a particular way, I will show up for them in that way, even if they've consistently shown, and this is now past me, this is no longer present me. But even when they have consistently shown that they're not looking to feed back into me in ways that are meaningful to me. So in those kinds of moments, like I've had things where, we spend time together and I leave and then I'm like struck with migraines, or I
Mm.
find
So you
myself
feel it in
getting
your
like sweaty.
body.
Yeah, I do feel it in my body, like migraines, sweaty palms, or if we're spending time together and I find that I'm nursing my whiskey glass a bit more than I want to.
Mm.
Because typically I can sip a double over like an hour or and some change.
Yeah.
But if I'm going through that in under 30 minutes, there's a problem.
Yeah.
So that for me signals to me that this is no longer a space that I can be my best in. And then those moments, sometimes I have a conversation. Actually, I always try to have a conversation because I think it's important for me to use my voice in that way and to say, look, okay, this is not going in a way that this should go. And then, I walk away.
I love that.
And yeah, and once I walk away, I really don't look back. And also, one of the things that I do is I thank them for the time, and I thank myself for the time, because even if it didn't work out, I learned something.
Yeah.
I
And you
don't know
had
if
an
you learned something,
experience. You
but
had a, you know,
I learned
yeah.
something, and I get better. And hopefully, the next time around, I don't make the same mistakes.
Yeah, that was going to be
So
my
that
question to you. It's
yeah.
like, how do you feel once you've actually left the situation? Are you someone who, like me, is like, I'm going to be heartbroken for weeks and months, or are you just like, okay, well, that didn't work, let's move on to the next thing.
I think it depends a bit on the level of investment that I left with, because I mentally check out before I physically check out.
Mm.
And that's because that's like kind of a defense mechanism for me. It's something that started in childhood, so I don't know that it's going to be something I can sort of undo. But what I try to give as much grace as I can to the person and to myself in that situation. However, once I see that there is like a mishandling of my care,
Mm.
my heart space begins to backtrack, and then my mind exits. But I could still be physically present. So by the time we have the conversation that says, listen, I'm at capacity, I've already left.
Cool.
I'm just giving you that conversation to sort of, because I always think this is probably going to be the last time we interact with one another. And I want to leave in a way that I feel my karma isn't completely thrown out of whack.
Yeah.
Because I think about how I want my presence to resonate with someone after they get over the ouch. I don't know why I do that, but I do that. And so I try to be very considerate even in those final moments. And then when I'm gone, honestly, I'm not the type of person that needs to block anybody. But I certainly won't be responding to your messages, and I won't be sending you messages.
Okay, so you don't block, but you leave them on red if they reach out.
Yeah, I mean, well,
Ooh.
I think
I don't know which is
sometimes
worse.
I mean, personally, I think the ways that I have been able to communicate to people in the past have been so clear that it sort of lets them know that, okay, if you're going to keep reaching out to me, don't expect a lifeline, because
Yeah.
there will not be one.
Yeah.
So if you enjoy speaking into the void, feel free to keep writing to me or trying to call me or whatever the case may be, but just don't expect that there's going to be a response on the other end. And yeah, because I also don't really believe in burning bridges, but like, I don't stay in contact with exes. Like that's of no benefit to me.
Can I
Yeah.
ask you a question?
Go for it.
First of all, thank you for sharing all of that. Wow.
Thank you for asking the questions.
Wow. What's your sign?
I'm an Aries.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. I was just curious.
Yeah.
Yeah. I relate to a lot of what you were saying. You sound someone just said it. She's strong, emotionally can't do it. You seem very, very strong and emotionally put together. Aries gang, someone said. But I just respect that so much. The fact that, even when you know that it's time to move on, you have a conversation with the person and you allow them to get, their quote unquote closure. A lot of people don't have that level of care to do that. They're just like, well, I'm out, peace, fuck what you got going on. So I think that's very beautiful and caring of you.
Thank you. I mean, for me, it's a habit that I deliberately formed,
Mm,
because I think about how I like to be treated. And so two things I train myself to do. When I'm at the peak of emotion, I don't respond in that moment because I know that my message is going to be mangled. And I never allow anyone, myself included, to put me out of character. So I'm not the type of person that calls people out of their names or insults people or damages people's property. Like sometimes I listen to people talking and I don't understand where and how they are the way, like I don't get it because my I like violence is not a love language for me. It's not an anger language, it's not an apology language.
yeah,
I just don't think that adults who respect themselves do those types of things.
yeah.
And it's how I govern myself. Now if somebody demonstrates to me that that is part of their bag of tricks right from the getting to know each other stage, we don't advance from there because I don't have the capacity to metabolize violence.
Hmm.
It's just not a thing I can do.
Yeah, yeah.
Certainly not in my private life.
Same.
Um, so I, I'm very discerning with my energy, and it's interesting that you ask, what my sign is, and I have to say, when the person said Aries gang, like actually not, because a lot of the things that is said about Aries people in general has never really applied to me. Um,
You don't feel like a true
but
Aries.
I don't even know really what that
Okay.
means, to be quite honest. Um,
It's for the best
yeah,
that you don't.
I don't know what that means. I'm just myself.
Yeah.
And I think some of the ways that I've heard people use astrology to sort of explain away bad behavior is a habit I do not have.
Mm,
So I'm not going to say I am this way because that's the star under which I was born under. No, that doesn't fly. I
yeah.
am this way either because this is an adaptive, trait that I've adopted, or
Yeah.
this is a maladaptive trait that I've adopted.
Yeah.
But I'm not blaming anything on the stars. I take ownership for my behavior.
Yeah.
Um,
I definitely think
so
it goes
yeah,
hand in hand. I used to say the same thing. Like, how, if I tell you, a lot of times you meet someone, that's the first question they ask you, okay, what's your sign? I'm like, okay, if I tell you my sign, you're going to judge me, first of all, because I'm a
yeah,
Leo. People, as soon as I say that,
hmm
people are like, oh my God, you're going to judge me, but like, you don't
hmm
know me, right?
no,
But there are I do have a lot of Leo-esque traits for sure. That's 100. I can't deny that. And I'm a true Leo. There's like 6 Leo placements in my chart.
hmm
It's insane.
okay,
So I do think it's like it goes hand in hand. But some of it is just bad behavior, like you just said,
yeah,
like for sure,
yeah,
100%.
yeah. So that's me in a nutshell.
Wow, I so
Yeah, I
appreciate you
like.
coming on and sharing that.
Thank you.
You seem
I
so
think it's
mature.
important for me. It's been hard. It's earned behavior. I mean, the other thing that you mentioned was something about, you asked about like how I'm able to move on, and I think one of the things I had to train myself to understand is that because I love someone doesn't mean I own them.
Ooh,
There is no part of love that can be sustained with possession or with the
yeah.
notion that um oh, you can't live without me, or you'll never find another like me or better than, like I don't play those games.
Yeah.
So and that's another reason why, when the experience is over, I thank the person, I thank myself, because I learned something new about my capacity to love, or not. And then I move on. Then I move on because I think for me, it's essential to maintain my freedom, emotional freedom, spiritual freedom, and all of those types of things. So I don't like to be tethered down by weight that is not serving. And I don't think it's fair to keep anybody hostage. Um, I
Yeah.
don't think that's a fair treatment of a person. So yeah.
Yeah. I think that's a very good point. Is when you love someone, you tend to want to be like, this is mine. This is mine. That's something that I've thought about too in relationships where I know this might not be the best space for me to be in, thinking about, okay, but somebody else is going to have them. I can't allow somebody else to have them because I want them. They're mine. You know what I mean? It's like a toy. It's like I might not, I might be done playing with this, but I don't want anybody else to have it. And that's something that has also kept me in places where I don't need to be for longer than I should be as well. It's that almost possessiveness in a way. It's I love you. I've shared all these intimate moments with you. You shared all these intimate moments with me. I don't want to let you go because I don't want anybody else to have this beautiful thing that I've had. And that maybe that's just me, but that's something that I've dealt with as well.
I understand that sentiment. And I have the capacity for resentment. I know this about myself. And I try to actively not give that emotion the space to thrive. So it's important for me to understand that when I meet someone, they come with a history.
Yeah.
And one day I might be their history.
Mm.
I'm
Ooh,
always fully
ouch.
aware of that,
Yes.
right? And I think that we are all averse to being hurt, and we are all averse to the risk involved in leveraging our hearts in like romance or friendship, right? However, that is, if you're not willing to leverage yourself in that way, you're likely not going to reap any benefits from the experience. So how then do you figure out how to balance your risk appetite? Yeah, like
Yeah.
what level of risk are you willing to wager? And this is why I think it's really important to slow timelines down, so you are able to observe the capacity of the other person to
Yeah.
hold what it is that you're offering, and
Yeah.
observe your own capacity to hold what they are offering. And
Yeah.
if the capacity is not sustainable, then you're wasting your time, really.
Another great point is
Yeah.
sometimes we go into every situation. I'm such a hard romantic. I go into every situation thinking this is gonna be it. This is gonna be the one.
Mm,
It's gonna be forever. Da, da, da.
mm,
But sometimes it's really hurting you to think like that. You got to enjoy the moment, be present in the moment,
mm-hmm.
because like you said, I might become their history. They had history before me, and I might become a part of that.
Yeah.
That's so hard to think about when you love
It's
someone,
hard to accept, because
Yeah.
I think it's a natural instinct to want to be like somebody's final destination.
Yeah.
So I work in with a lot of francophone circles, and there's this common phrase that people say when they meet someone or when they're getting married. And it's jusqu'à la gare. So it means to the station. So we're going to the last stop, basically. If we're on
Ooh.
this train ride, we're not getting off, or at least when we do get off, we're getting off together. So our destination is a shared destination. But the
Oh,
point
beautiful.
is, on that long train ride, there could be things that pop up that distract attention, or that require more attention, or that earn more attention. So many things can happen on that train ride that the train could also derail.
Yeah.
These are real things that could happen, right? But people say these things because we hope that, and we think that things are really good, that this is it. But I think intensity can be distracting, chemistry can be
Ooh,
distracting.
say that again.
What is our
Chemistry.
capacity?
Yeah.
And we talk about compatibility, which is great. But again, what is the capacity to sustain the thing?
Yeah.
Because really, it is a daily decision, right? And it's a daily decision even on the days that I might not like you so much.
Yeah.
So am I still going to make the same choice on the days I don't like you so much? And so these are the questions that I like to ask myself.
Good questions.
Yeah,
Great
yeah.
questions. Yeah.
So
How are you right now? Are you happy? Are you feeling good?
I am very happy right now. I think I'm probably experiencing a level of contentment that I haven't had in quite some time. So, relationally, I was with my ex for 6 years, and I'm now 6 years single, so 6 years out of
Ooh,
that.
wow.
And different things have happened, obviously, in that time span. I've had new and exciting professional experiences. My relationship with my family has evolved in different ways. My relationship with myself has evolved in different ways.
Hmm.
Um, and there's been a lot of pruning and a lot of refining of my energy and my capacity in different ways. And I think I'm at the point where things are like integrating, and it's very delicious to observe myself in this moment, and to observe myself on the cusp of the next thing,
Yeah.
because I definitely have that like bubbling feeling in my gut that the next thing is on the horizon.
Ooh.
I don't know which direction that next thing is going, whether it's professional. Well, actually, I do have an inkling, but you know, that's something that I work out in my prayer life. You know, to and also and so yeah, so to keep myself grounded and to really like ensure that I have the capacity to hold and honor and steward the next thing.
Yeah.
Um, because getting to this point has been a long road.
6 years
And
is
so
a
I'm very
long
grateful.
time.
I'm grateful for it. Yeah, I'm grateful for it.
Yeah, 6 years is a long time to be with someone, but also a
Yeah.
long time to be single as well.
Out of being with
Yeah,
someone.
wow, that's kind of fascinating. You know, but I hear you when you say like you feel like you're on the cusp of something amazing, something beautiful. I love that. Yeah, very beautifully said. Thank you, Yana. Um, it's an exciting time. Like for the first
It
time,
is.
I feel, first time in a long time, I feel really excited about what's next in every aspect of my life. And so I share that with you as well.
That is very. I mean, that energy is like it's amazing, and it can do so many things.
Yeah, yeah.
So yeah. I do have a question for you though. Can you place your accent for me, because I hear something that is not purely Houston or purely US.
Oh no, I'm from the Bahamas.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm from the Bahamas. Born and raised. I came to the States for college like 20 years ago, and I've kind of never left. Um,
Okay.
but yeah, Bahamian, born
Okay.
and bred. That's another thing. Going home for the first time in like 3 years for like a little over a week. So
Nice.
I'm very excited about that. My grandfather's turning 100 years old,
Oh
and my
wow.
mom is turning 70 years old. So it's gonna be a big, big party, both on Valentine's Day.
Oh wow.
So it's gonna be a big party. So I'm excited about going home and tell me where you're from again.
I'm Nigerian Brit.
Nigerian. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, but then I live in some desert in West Africa for work.
Got you. Yeah,
Yeah.
my bestie is Nigerian, so I recognized some of the things
Mm.
that you. Yeah. So anyway, I listen. This show has taught me so much, and I've learned so much, and I met so many amazing people. So I really appreciate. Tell me how to say the name again.
Shubo me.
Subomi. I love
Yeah.
that. Thank you
Thank
for
you.
sharing your wisdom with us tonight. Is it your first time coming through to Unbuttoned?
It is my first time because
Okay.
it's also like this happens at 3 a.m. my time. I told you I
Oh.
was going to set a reminder, and I did. So I'm glad I, I,
Yes.
I,
Yeah, I
yeah,
appreciate that. Wow, it's late for you, or early for you.
early,
Um,
yeah.
yeah, this is our safe space every Monday night. I thank you so much for coming through.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, everybody in here enjoyed listening to you. We could listen to you all night. We loved it.
Lord.
We loved it.
These are the things that I do that get me into trouble. So let me drop down back into the comments. But thank you for
Not
having
get you
me.
into trouble. Absolutely. Thank you.
Kristen, I'll put the meaning of my name in the chat so you can have that.
Yes,
Yeah.
we want to
Okay.
know.
Thank you. All right. And this is a good session, by the way. I'm enjoying the topic.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you.
Can you guys? I don't know if y'all heard my cat. She's being very loud. Thank you guys so much for being here and for, as always, contributing to. Again, when I come in there with a topic, it's really what's going on in my life, and you guys help me so much to navigate it. And I ask you guys questions that have been on my heart all week, and you always come through with the support and the love, and I appreciate you so much. And so I kind of don't want to say goodnight, because again, this is going to be our last time for a couple of weeks. But when I come back, there are some topics, that one in particular that I've been afraid, is that the right word? I've been nervous about broaching, because it's every topic is very personal to me, but this one is particularly personal, and it's a little bit scary to think about, and to talk about. And you're probably like, what else can you share? You've shared so much. You've literally shared so much with us. But there are definitely things that I want to talk about, because not to just share on my business, but I feel like it's time for healing in the masculine community, and so look out for that show, and also I hope that you guys will let me know things that you want to talk about. I started this show as a safe space for masculine presenting people, to talk about what's going on with us, and things that we don't often share and talk about. But I also want to hear from all of us, the feminine among us as well. You can always DM me, message me on TikTok, and send me ideas or topics that you want to discuss. Because again, there's no place I won't go with Unbuttoned, because this is all about our healing, and I appreciate you guys so much for being here. Iyanla, my moderator, my friend.
Yes.
Is there anything you'd like
I'm
to
sorry I
say
was
before we end the show tonight?
No, this was a good topic. Definitely needed to be talked about.
Yeah.
I thank you for holding this space for not only the mass presenting, but also the femmes.
Yeah.
Also.
Thank you all for being here.
Yeah, you definitely open up. I always give you your flowers anyway, so but thanks for giving this space, especially for LBGT, so we definitely need it.
I come in there every week, and I'm like, we're gonna have fun, and we're just gonna laugh, and we do. But I tend to get, I'm so emotional, and I tend to get very emotional. I start sipping on this stuff over here also, and I start to pour it out. So there's that. But I appreciate each and every one of you. Thank you so much. And I will be around. I'm always available. Hit me up. Talk to me in my DMs. Thank you guys for your support. I appreciate y'all. And until the next show, take care.